I'm Ben. I'm the Myth Esports analyst. We do a lot of prep work, sort of data, tracking stats, making sure that we can counter the opponents that we come up against, so the team, you know, they know what they're coming up against, things like that, so they're ready for it. Yeah, I mean, last night we did prep for a couple hours, and the team were just involved completely. They were just applying so much of their knowledge into it, saying, okay, we can do this, we can do that. So yeah, I think they're ready. It's a best of one. I'm gonna say we can take it. I think it's gonna be fairly close, maybe like 7-4, 7-5, but you know, I think it'll be a really good game, and I think we can come out on top. Thanks for watching. Root for us at home, and yeah, appreciate the support. Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah, cool. All right, are you guys ready? Like, as in, you're prepared for today? You feeling it?
Of course.
Yeah, good. Womanly suitcase, all right, brilliant.
All right, we'll see you.
Yeah, I'll see you in a bit then. All right, let's go.
See you, bro.
Bye. They're waiting for Choco and CD because the van's already there. And then Choco walks out with like a womanly suitcase, apparently. They're all just laughing about it. So he's just like walking like this. But yeah, no, sorry.
About Madman's on camera.
No, you can do whenever.
Just do it,
yeah.
Right?
Put me on the spot. But yeah, I'm not sure when Matt Van start, but hopefully I can get in there, put my input in, help out CD with that, because me and him were like extensively talking about what maps we wanted to prep for. So I think we had like 4 or 5 that we were like, okay, we're gonna ban these 4, so let's look at these 5, and then whittled it down to 2.5, I would say, because we're not sure on one of them. Yeah, hopefully it turns out okay. We get the maps we want, and we go and win the game. That's the plan.
All right, we just had a drive to the venue, and we're here at the venue. Just take a little look. We're more than ready to take down Project X in our first match. So we'll take part in like 1 hour. The boys are already in, they're prepping the bands, the map vetoes, just a little last warm up, and then ready to take them down.
Well, I was making a coffee and I heard them talking about the bands at breakfast, so we knew what they were going to ban.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nice. So cold, easy. Alright, awesome. That's good.
It's all well and good having construction control. Not going to be easy to get that case down.
I'd be really worried about the player below as things stand. You've still got the Kiba barrier in the corner, and I think Uzi is aware. Yeah, they know. Down falls one. Another player swings, but look at that Choco with a huge double kill inside of Logi, leaving it all down to Fanu. What great cover that was. The final defender, the Mantis, will rotate up main stairs now too, making it a 1 versus 3. Cross is being held. First contact is there, but the second one will not swing, so Fanu will find one. He almost gets a second, but Delye will get the kill. But that was scrappy. That was a little messy on that potential trade at the end.
It was, but Gibson, it might be scrappy, it might be messy, but guess what? They got the job done. Flashbang, smokes go out, here comes the execution. Capital Dart goes deep out towards AK, and in charge of that blitz. Tamantis with 1 C4 finds, but Rexon fires off, and they've charged in and forced control of Armory. Everyone retreats down the blue, and it's down to a 4 versus 1. Choco in blue, bearing down against the blitz. Shut down by Uzi. Project X take victory here on Clubhouse, and they win our opening game here, Tier 2 Finals.
Yeah, dominant opening victory for them. They had a plan, they executed it to perfection, and they remained in the upper bracket, which Whippet is what they needed to do. They're 1 best of 3 away from being in the Tier 2 finals, but for Myth Esports, they've got to go the long way.
They got to go the long way around, but many teams enjoy it.
I felt confident going into the best of 1, to be honest. I really thought that we could do something. We were well prepped. We knew almost exactly what they were going to do. It was just a case of we couldn't execute. Their defences, we knew what we were going to go into. Their attacks, we knew what they were going to do to us. But we couldn't work it around. We tried to change a little bit too much, I think, rather than knowing what we do and sticking to that. But going into it, I was pretty confident. Like I said, we were prepped well for it. Obviously, it didn't go how we wanted it to. We lost, but we still felt confident coming out of that, as well as that we had the right idea. Yeah, 100%. It felt like we were just out of the game completely. Just as we just couldn't get anything going on the attacks, we couldn't control the aggression from the opponents, and on the defense, we didn't know where they were coming from, what they were doing, or what we needed to hold, what we needed to, like what our gaps were, where people were going to come from. We couldn't control the tempo, and we lost because of that, because we couldn't control the aggression, and then the opposite on the defense, we couldn't get aggressive enough because we didn't have enough information. He's seen the guy cross and he's holding the cross, so I think it was Choco was trying to plant. He couldn't cover him. Choco was going to die and then he'd be left in a 1v1 anyway. So at that point it was just try and shoot through Choco and hit the other guy as well, but unfortunately it didn't go how it wanted to. It's, you know, the ideal scenario is he kills him as he crosses. Yeah, I think it's never nice to lose. Obviously I don't think anyone ever enjoys losing. I think we knew coming here that it was going to be tough. We hadn't played together for a while. We knew that the other teams were well prepped and also on a similar skill level individually. So as soon as they had like 1 or 2 layers more prep, then we were always at a disadvantage. I still think those things we could have done better on the day, but it didn't happen, and that's kind of how it goes sometimes. I think the plans going forward for this weekend specifically is obviously just going to be watch the other games, enjoy some good Siege, you know, hopefully have a nice time, maybe a few drinks or whatever, and just kind of, and then in the future, long term, it's going to be, we're probably still looking for 2 players, so it'll be confirming them and then looking towards Challenger League qualifiers and just making sure we keep improving, keep getting better. There's nothing set in stone. We could potentially pick up Chef Domingo again. Obviously it's them as well, they need to join back. I mean, it's something that we can work. We know that it has worked in the past and it can work again. It's going to be seeing what our options are, and then as the 3 players and myself, and managers and organisation, coming to a conclusion of what we think is best for the team going forward. So I started playing Siege in Operation White Noise. That was, what, 8 years ago now, I think. That's a long time ago now, I think back. But yeah, I've been playing Siege for a long time. I started playing as a player. I think most people do. You think, I'm going to go pro with playing. And then I realised that I enjoyed the strategical side more, and I also wasn't very good at shooting people. So my best bet was always going to be coaching. I've been on multiple T1 teams where it's been analyst or assistant coach. I've worked with some great coaches in the past. So I've learned a lot from them, and now I'm just trying to, you know, apply that to myself. But yeah, I agree. I think if you look back at any coach, there's probably maybe 1 or 2 who have not played in the past. You know, I think a lot of good coaches have played in Tier 1. Look, Meepy. There's loads of there. Meepy's off the top of my head, but Meepy's played Tier 1 from like year 1. And now he's one of the best coaches in the game. So I think it's obviously it's a dynamic that we have to deal with. Maybe for me personally, I think T2 should just be Tier 2, especially at the grand finals like this where everyone's coming to a LAN and they've got a T1 coach and a T1 player, if we're talking about Secret here, right? Or even Project X, right? They have Hungary, Pack Bull. They haven't been in Tier 1 maybe recently, but they have been in the past. I think T2 really should be a proving grounds to get into Tier 1. Maybe there needs to be something on the side for Tier 1 pro players who don't have an opportunity, or ex-pro players, to keep them entertained essentially, so they don't have to drop into Tier 2. But I think it's something that we just have to deal with because of the scene that we're in. I'd just say just keep working hard. I think the most important thing, and I think none of these players that you're watching, say a 6 Invitational, even the T2 Grand Finals, they've been playing the game for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years at this point. I think the most part is enjoy it as well. Don't force yourself to play if you don't enjoy it. Enjoy your time, make some good friends, work hard. If you want to improve, put the time in, put the effort in. If you're going to want to be a Tier 1 player, you're going to have to make sacrifices as well. You know, you have to lose stuff. You can have multiple sides of your life. You can have the social side, the work side, and then your esports side. You might have to lose one to fully focus on esports if you want to be Tier 1. Exactly. You can't have parties every weekend and parties all the time and also be a pro player, because you need to put that effort in. I mean, I'll just shout out everyone that supported us. I mean, I know there's a lot of people in the Dutch fan base and stuff who are really supportive of us, and out elsewhere as well. We do appreciate it, we see it, and we just appreciate you guys. You know, it keeps us going. I think if we didn't have such a supportive fan base, it probably wouldn't be as easy as it is.